Say his name 5 times, he'll appear behind you, breathing down your neck.
Close your eyes and count to 7. When you wake, you'll be in heaven.
I don't know why that one played instead of the normal one. Hello. Everybody.
Good.
Oh. Yes, I'm still red. Oh, hello from 23 tomatoes from seed. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to try, because I got tomorrow off. I'm going to try to get some stuff planted. I could wait till Mother's Day, but I looked at the weather for the week, and it doesn't look like it's going to get too cold. So what I'm thinking is maybe get everything ready. I had never got to make my biochar yet, so that kind of sucks. But if I can get to it tomorrow, then it means about a week I can put the biochar in my raised beds.
I'll be back for at least 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Yeah, that's when the timer goes off.
So how's everybody been doing this week? I haven't looked at YouTube that much this week at all. By the time I get home, get like the Wednesday, I think it was, I had to hurry up and mow before it started raining. I got the grass cut and everything. Didn't get the weed eater out, but at least I got the grass cut. Come on. But
we've had three downpours here since about 5 o'clock.
Oh,
and we fixing to get another one.
Yeah, we had a doozy earlier. The thing is, I was out getting carts and I got drenched. Well, before that, we were moving in a pallet of organic, well, we all call it hippie soil. We couldn't fit it through the sliding doors. It actually got stuck, so nobody could go into the store, and we're having a heck of a time. We ended up popping the windows out to where it makes the door go wider. So we finally got it in there. So we had to take the plastic off. And when I took the plastic off, I lifted it up and about 10 gallons of water came straight down on top of me. And yeah, soaking wet all the way. Both my feet had water in it, and I took the plastic out and you could see where I stepped. Water was squirting out of my shoes. So the last 3 hours I was in wet shoes. all my loading slips got wet. And,
Well, let me ask you, don't they supply you with a raincoat or something like that?
well, see, that's where I forgot to. When I was going out and get carts, um, it just started pouring out of nowhere, and it was coming down quite a bit. So
Okay.
the outside manager said, um, "Go tell them that you need a raincoat." Um, so I went back there, and they got one off of a shelf, and I put it on, go outside, and it's sunny. Wearing that thing for about 20 minutes, and I said, "Oh, that thing will cook you in the sun."
Yes, they will.
And
Even in the rain during the summer, they will cook you.
yeah, it wasn't too bad though. The worst part was my feet, wet shoes.
Hello, Ziggy. Hello, Eric. Miss Dana. That's all I see right now. I'm
But
sure.
um, like I was telling Jeff, evidently there was a poll on how long I would make it because um, the outside loaders, it is a hard job to do, which I kind of like it because it is a hard job to do. Like I would never, I would have a harder time sitting behind a cash register not moving. um so
To me,
there was a poll, and most everybody's like 1 or 2 days. There's one person had 4 days, and then I nobody had five
share that.
days, so nobody won won any money. So that it should come to me then. I didn't know about it until today. So
How much was the pool worth?
I don't think it was too much, like 60,
Uh,
$80 or something like that.
I'd ask him, hey, since how I beat y'all's pool, do I get the money?
That's why I said, well, if nobody won, who gets the money?
Yeah.
And they said, well, there it'll go toward the next victim.
I like how they said victim in that.
Yeah, which the thing is, um, the week prior to me coming in to work, which I this week I was supposed to be on the computer the whole week. Um, the people who there were 6 people that were hired last week, the prior week. Um, one one of them made it 15 minutes. Um, two quit at lunch. They went to lunch and never returned, and then the rest didn't come back the next day.
That
And then,
15 minutes wouldn't pay for the gas.
well, that they found out how hard it was to load, and all they had to load was 10 bags of mulch, and
Oh
they
my
quit.
God.
It was too much. I think they were 4 bags in and they were gone. It's a normal thing though, I guess.
Well, people nowadays, they want the money, but they don't want to work for it. And if they break into a sweat, they
Yeah,
quit.
yeah. It
You
was
know.
like I said, the um, first few days. Well, the first day I was on the computer, and that was hard on me. Sitting on that, and it you have to sit on these hard seats, and the
Yeah.
laptop is so far back that you got to crouch over, and the seat is
Nope.
lower than the table, a lot lower than the table. So I'm like this the whole time. And I got to where I was standing up and walking back and forth as I was watching these videos, these training videos. So I'm glad the second day I got pulled outside. Got certified in 5 minutes with the forklift. Said, this is up, this is down, this is left, this is right. And he said, this is forward and this is a reverse. And you have to put the seatbelt on or you can't start the forklift. He said, you're certified.
There's a way around that.
I moved like 10 different pallets, and that was it. After that, I did find out that there's a forklift hog. Because if you're riding on the forklift, you're sitting down and not loading things. All you're doing is this.
I wish I could get a job driving a forklift all day.
Well, there's some guys in the back. Well, it depends if it's truck day or not.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of keep me around the plants because people come over and ask me questions about, the plants and stuff.
Okay.
About what will these work good with these plants, and a lot of the flowers I don't know, but some of them pretty much. And we got 3 truckloads of plants in, and we have to put them in a little bitty area. So that's why I got put outside to help get the plants situated and stuff. And then when there's a loadout, then I have to hurry up and get over to the load lane and load people up. I was asked today, why was this lady taking a picture with you? And I said,
wow, what now?
Yeah, somebody wanted a picture with me because of YouTube. And I said, well, because I'm a YouTuber, and so every once in a while somebody will recognize me, which is weird to me. No, it's Roll King. I wasn't going to say anything, which everybody was going to. Oh, why is your face so red? But like I said,
Been working out.
I got recognized quite a bit, which I was surprised there are that many people around here that watch YouTube or know who I am.
Yeah. Well, now, do you take your lunch or do you eat there? I mean, do you buy there?
Well, the first 3 days I went without lunch, and
You got to quit doing that.
I lost a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So I had Taco Bell once and Wendy's, which I have to figure out a way to stick with the carnivore diet to bring food because I only get a half an hour lunch,
Okay.
which is 15 minutes. By the time I get from back of the store to my truck, it's 15 minutes. So if I
Hello,
if I take my lunch, then I can eat in the back where the break room is and
yeah.
have more time. Which after I eat,
Well,
I'm ready to go.
the bad thing about putting your lunch in a public commissary is you may not have it come lunchtime. Somebody else done got it.
Well,
You know how to fix that though, right?
everybody's pretty good as far as I know.
Okay. Hello, Watt.
Hey, what?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, I did um, a few of the cashier ladies um, had to stroke my beard already.
Nice.
Well, it's good to be on their good side though, because they're the ones that um, to call out that there's a loadout. So if you're on their bad side, they just don't tell you, and then they'll say, "Hey, this person's been waiting out there for an hour to get loaded." It's like, oops.
All right, Susie D. Hang on.
How you enjoying your gig? Well, you probably already talked about it. I might have missed it.
It's not too bad. The the first day was computer work. Today I was on there for about an hour and a half. And that's the weird thing is you're supposed to be on it for a week because there's 5 days of it.
Hmm.
And the first day was the only day I was on there for the full day, and then the second day I was on there for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and then today I was on there for about an hour, a little over an hour, and I completed the whole thing.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of that stuff's probably just refresher of just a lot of stuff you've encountered over your life, probably,
Yeah, safety thing and stuff.
and learning whatever their store protocols or policies are.
Yeah. Um, somebody gave me $5. I gave it back because I wasn't sure if I was allowed to get tips. So I wasn't sure. So I said, "Oh, that's okay. I don't think we're allowed to accept tips." I told him maybe next time just buy me a drink and we'll call it even. The guys um, that I did the concrete for a couple days ago. Um, the first time was 30 bags. The second time was 20 bags. And the second time they said, if we have to come by here again, we'll bring you a beer. And I said, "Oh, it better be cold." it, and they came back and they had to bring back bags because they had too many. So I was like, as I was unloading his truck and putting it back up again, on the pallets again, I said, "Where's my beer?" I would just I'd ask my the outside manager. Um, yeah, we get along pretty good.
So far.
Oh yeah. Oh he which is kind of funny because we were sitting there talking about the swimming area over here at Lake Park, and I said we used to take the kids to the swimming at Lake Park where they had a beach, and he said, "Yeah, I was one of the last ones that uh, finished my uh, learning how to swim there." And like, oh, that's where my daughter learned how to swim there, or did the swimming course.
Huh.
So he's as old as my oldest daughter.
Mm.
Yeah, the other day we were talking about at his property. He's setting up rain catchment, and he said he did the 3 bucket thing and ran into some issues of clogging and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I gave him. They said instead of using the play sand, use the filter sand for the swim pool filters. And I said it should work a little bit better, but all in all, you're still going to have to clean out that bottom 5 gallon bucket because that's where everything's going to collect.
Yeah. I hope we
But
get some more rain. All my rain catchments is empty. Shoot, we ain't had no rain and not a good rain in at least a couple weeks.
yeah, we've had a lot of rain, even though the um, the little lake and everything next to the river has went way down because it's been hot. Even though we've had a few days where it's poured down, like we had that one real bad windstorm that came through. About 20 posts on Facebook for free wood. Everybody and their mom
Darn.
trying to get rid of free wood. One
But storm
one
I'd love
damage.
tree,
to be.
one huge
Yeah.
tree uh, got picked up and thrown into their upstairs bedroom. That's probably the worst. Another giant tree in the town square um, got blown over. A lot of branches.
I'd love to be up there to get me some trees. You know, that way I can cut them.
Oh yeah.
Everything here.
Well, that if I had property and stuff, and I was using wood to heat with in the wintertime, that's all I would be doing all day is going by these places and chopping it up and sticking it somewhere to
Yeah.
let it season for a year or two because that's free heat.
Well,
Well,
now coming
not
up.
totally free because chainsaw and all that.
Yeah. Just your time and effort.
Yeah, a lot cheaper
Yeah.
than paying for it.
$20 for four or five little pieces at the Walmart or the Lowe's.
Yeah.
And that stuff, I bought one time. I was in a jam. It's been a long time ago, but I don't know what they had coated on it. But man, it took forever for that stuff to light. It was dry, but it's like it had some type of coating or so. I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah,
That was years
Ropey
ago.
has
Now I
a
know.
bundle for almost $6, and it's a pretty good sized bundle.
Mm.
And then they have what's that called? Cherokee? Is it a Cherokee stove? You know where you split it in the middle and then have a hole drilled
Oh,
through it.
you have a hole, yeah, and you
Yeah,
just light the inside of that up.
Yeah, I forget.
I forget what you call it. Something Inferno or something Cherokee. Yeah.
Yeah, they have those they're selling for $5. I'm like, dang, that's a heck of a gimmick because all they do is drill a hole in the top,
Yeah,
and
drill a
drill
hole.
a hole in the side, and
Yeah.
they're selling
I
a
mean,
log
shoot,
for
I'd do that
$5.
all day.
No,
Yeah, I've seen them.
I was,
Fortunately, that was one of the side effects of Helena. I've got enough wood stacked up that shoot, I could
Yeah,
kickstart the next global warming. I won't ever use it for heating, not unless a freak accident happens. But I mean, I'll use it for cooking on,
yeah,
using the grill or the smoker.
yeah. That's when I lived
well, you could
out
have
in the
your.
country. Um, I got a bunch of pine, and I said I'll
Mm-mm.
use it for outside and stuff like that. I won't use it on a griddle or anything out
Yeah.
or grill out, but like if I'm heating a pot or something,
Oh yeah.
or just you know fire next to the. We used to have fires soon as it like in March all the way up to December, we would have fires outside.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh no.
You know.
Oh, you're flying in the morning. Well, make sure you have a good, safe trip.
I'll be waving at you as you fly over Georgia. Look at there. It's a bird. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's be on a plane.
Wait a minute. Who's going to chicken sit?
Oh, send my carrier pigeon down there.
I can't think of the name of her pet.
What'd y'all top out at today? What was y'all's high?
I don't know.
Man, I tell you.
I think we topped out at 86 here today.
Yeah, it was in the 80s yesterday. It was probably close to it, 75, 80, because it when them big clouds was overhead, oh, it felt so good.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah.
had a breeze coming through. Um, and the thing is, I have to wear a vest so I don't get run over by people, even
Of
though
course.
they don't see that vest half the time. And that thing gets so hot that I pull it off and try to get some airflow going because it's the reflectors and all that stuff on there. It holds all that moisture in.
Yeah, that aggravates me too. There's some job sites I go on to, I have to wear a vest or a hard hat.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
can't
I'm
stand
glad
it,
I don't
really.
have to wear a hard hat.
I hate them things.
I mean, I know they got a purpose, but it's just, yeah, especially in the summertime, it's just one more layer and one more thing to aggravate you.
Yep, my head.
Yep.
Yesterday, my head was sobbing wet. Um, it looked like I just ran through a shower or something.
Yeah, I have to keep me a rag or old cut up T-shirt or something in my back pocket.
Yeah,
I get to
today
sweating just thinking about the heat.
wasn't too bad. I think I'm just getting used to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I would hate to start when it was like 90 and 100 degrees out.
No, that's right. That's how it was when I started the union. It was about that time. It was probably about July or August.
Ooh,
I had just graduated from high school that May and had the summer off and went straight to work. And man, on that concrete slab, I mean, it was I mean, after a while, you kind of get adjusted to it. You know what I mean? But I said, man, couldn't have picked a more perfect time to start working on a concrete slab.
Yep, measles is not a good thing to get when you're not a kid. Well, it's not good when you have a kid either, but there's a point you have to watch out for something where they stick a needle in your spine to see if you got it. I forget what it's called, what it can go into. Yeah, I was watching a
Good
show where
evening,
the
Don.
kid had the measles and he was a teenager, and the parents were paranoid for the juice things, but they're saying measles is not nothing to mess with because it'll go to your brain.
Yeah.
And the father actually made the decision without the mother knowing to get the shot so that you could find out if he had I forget what it was, but so they could treat it if they knew what it was. And the only way they find out is if they do a tap on the spine, and it end up he did have it. But if he didn't have it and they gave him the medicine, then it could kill him. So yeah.
Didn't watch a
Now,
lot
with
of.
a spinal tap, you cannot move at all while they doing that. Am I correct?
Yeah, he wasn't moving anyway. He was out. He was close to dying.
Darn.
Yeah.
I didn't watch a lot of medical shows, but you made me think about the show I used to like watching called House. You ever remember that show?
Yep.
I used to like watching that show. I don't know why. Not religiously, but if it was on, I'd watch it.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, there were some doctor shows on that just kind of made things up, and there was doctor shows that actually had doctors that would tell them if this happened, they were schooled in it. So everything that they said it would happen in a real hospital.
Yeah, you would think with all the money and stuff they put in there, that would be like a standard. If I'm producing a doctor-based show, I'm gonna have doctors come in and get their opinions. Or if
Yeah.
military, some of these guys they'll go out and actually train with the military so they can get a feel of how to maneuver. The directors go out and get a visual of it, how it really is.
Dang.
Right.
Ziggy, you just wanted all the measles, didn't you? One just wasn't good enough.
Is that contagious, or is that just something that's?
Oh yeah,
it is.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, now I'm not a fan of a bunch of things, especially nowadays, because when in the 80s, what were there, like 4 or 5 different ones you would take? It was polio, measles, and a few others.
Yeah.
The one where it turned your face really red, red dots all over it, rubatello or something like that. But some things that's been used for many years and been tested for many years, I don't see those being bad. But when something is pushed and forced upon somebody, yeah, that. See, those are very contagious things, and knocking those out to where they don't spread is a good thing. Wow, 3 times? Whew. See, and I can't say anything with getting those things because I never got any of them. I did the polo because that was, take some drops and that was it. But I never got measles, chicken pox, or any of that stuff.
More than I ended up with chicken pox. But that's about the only thing I can remember having coming up like that.
Yeah, I remember my kids got it, and then my 2 youngest ones went over for a chickenpox party, and I didn't know what that was at the time, and I'm like, okay, and they were asking their parents, you guys had chickenpox already, haven't you? And my wife said, yeah, and I said, no. Oh, you shouldn't be here then. And they said it's very dangerous for adults to catch it, and I never caught it.
I forgot about that one. Yeah, I had mono also. They called that the kissing disease.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Well, it's technically, and I probably shouldn't talk about that because it's medical stuff. Oh. Let me save this page before I forget.
What? Oh, great.
Yeah, I got an email the other night saying I've got my Ohio certification for forklift. And I'm like, do they know I was only on that thing for about 5-10 minutes to get certified? Afterwards I'd done moved a bunch of stuff and moved a bunch of pallets and stuff, but I was like, everybody does it though, I guess. All you got, you're supposed to do safety checks. I don't think anybody does safety checks before they start that. They just jump on and go. Yeah, according to the video that I had to watch before you get started, you have to take the back off. You have to check the belts and some other things, and make sure the air cleaners secure, and you have to check the fluid and stuff, and you close it back down, and then you have to go walk around and do a check. You have to check the tires, make sure there's no cracks or things in them. I'm like, the tires on this thing has more cracks in it than the driveway does.
Is it a propane forklift or?
Yeah.
Well, if I remember correctly, those forklifts had solid tires on them to begin with.
Oh yeah, they do, but they're still rubber. And if it got chunks and stuff out of it, you're supposed to not use it, or cracks, because if it cracks in the middle of hauling stuff, then it could tip.
I don't think I've ever seen one that didn't have a chunk taken out of it.
Yeah, I know.
Hello, Miss Tasha.
Do a lot of work at this local beverage distribution place, and it's just everything like sodas, juice, stuff like that, beer. But they've got a lot of forklifts, but they also have those mechanical like pallet jacks that they can stand on and drive. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
Man, they have them things zipping and zinging all through the house.
Yeah.
That thing's dangerous if you don't watch it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
but
you
they
know
burn.
the normal pallet jacks, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where you have to,
yeah, pump it up.
yeah, you know how to make those things. You can drive them around, right? No, you can. If
Yeah, I know.
you get on them and you stand on the forks
Oh
and,
yeah, yeah,
and you do this, and you can get going pretty
like a
good.
scooter.
Yeah, you don't have to kick your feet or anything, but if you maneuver it, it does like a little snaky thing, and you can get going pretty good.
Just blow the horn when you go through a doorway.
Well, you don't get a horn for those ones.
Me, I had to use my own horn. I
Oh,
hollered.
uh,
I got wrote up for that for something. He
Tasha
said,
said there's blackouts every summer, though. That's normal.
"Yeah,
Shoot.
who's
Now,
having a
could be
blackout?"
like, was it Spain or something over there where they
Yeah.
Yeah,
what you sent me?
Hmm. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the
about 2 weeks ago, or maybe a week ago now. Yeah.
people in the tunnels.
Yeah, I would never get on the subway. I don't ever see myself ever having to do that. I mean, I know people have to, but I mean,
Yeah, I can see 101 with his flashlight popping out.
follow
See,
me,
I'm
guys.
prepared. He'd be showing everybody out of the tunnels. This way, people. This way.
I mean, if it was my daily routine, if I had a little bag or something, I'd keep a flashlight just, I mean, you don't know, something like that could happen.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm. And then at that point, how long do you sit in the subway or till you can make communication? Do you realize, all right, this train's not moving anywhere. We got to abort, you know? I wonder how long something like that takes place.
You know, a place like that, I would think that they would have a monitor on a train. You know, in case it does break down, they can go ahead and send somebody out. But I'd say at least a half hour.
Yeah. Like, all right, y'all, we're going to wait it another 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, we're walking,
Yeah.
you know, or it seemed like they'd have some type of backup, but I mean, I saw some reports it was power, internet, and some people didn't have cell service in some parts. So, you know,
Well, now, I think me and Bushcraft was talking about this before the show. Uh, didn't that have something to do with the, oh, what'd you call it? From the sun?
Uh,
solar
M.
flares.
Yeah.
Uh, there's another word for it, but I can't remember. Was it Grace knows the ME something or
Oh
other?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a certain name they give for those type of waves or whatever that interferes.
yeah.
Because our, what's up?
This is what I used to carry
There
around, and it actually has a flashlight in it.
There you go. Yeah, that's all you need right there.
Yeah, it's just a little thing like that, and then you know, things to start fires. Got a first aid kit and all kinds of other nifty goes in there.
All in one.
Even a little sewing kit, and it's just a little bitty thing about yay big. And I haven't carried it in a while.
Plasma,
No,
solar
not
flares.
plasma. I forget what it is. It's when the I forget what it is.
Certain class.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I know some of their reports at first they were saying it was I forget the terminology they used, but a peculiar weather event.
Okay.
But
Okay.
who knows? You know, sounded real concerning to me.
Yeah.
Well, all I got to say is this right here. With us done got used to AC and everything. If we was to have a blackout for about a week at 80, 90, maybe 100-degree weather, there's going to be some ticked off people.
I would be okay. I'm out in the sun all day.
Well,
Yeah.
it ain't really got summertime yet.
It's been in the 80s. That's what I thought I was going to have a harder time with the yeah, that's what it EMC. It's EMC, isn't it? Not ECM.
Electronic. Well, what I call summer is when we hit in the mid to high 90s, or the heat, or the oh,
What's worse is when it rains and then the
oh,
sun
pops
comes
out.
out and it's
Yeah.
all and
Like
I'm
a
on
heat rain.
blacktop the whole day and all that moisture
Yeah.
that comes up. Oh,
Oh man, tell me about it. Like a soup sandwich.
oh.
Electromagnetic field.
No, Charles, you're thinking of a CME, a coronal mass
Yeah,
ejection.
Oh, shoot, that's
that's it.
Eric's here. I thought the voices
He's
in my
just
head was
sitting
coming
there,
back.
just being quiet the whole dang time and
Dang,
waiting for us to.
snuck up on me.
I used to hear about that on a certain channel. So,
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't talk about it because I don't want to be
I'm
accused of stealing somebody's content.
well, no, this is on Google. This is Google content.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a man-made one there though.
Peculiar weather we're having here, ain't it?
Yeah, rain down here. Somebody send me rain.
Oh, you ain't getting none either?
Nothing. I'm dry as a bone.
Dry as a bone. A turkey bone from Thanksgiving.
That's pretty dry. Yeah, I was gonna rake some leaves, and I thought I can't because I
Oh yeah,
pull all
it
the
is
grass up.
dye. You can see the dye running down my arm
What is that?
from
On the forklift?
Fence
the
post.
red mulch
Oh.
because it was rain. Everything's wet anyway because once you get down to 3 or 4 layers of a pallet, it's all wet in between and slimy. So the mulch is wet inside the bag. So when you pick it up, it just kind of squirts out.
Yeah.
Oh, if we had an event like the Carrington event again, that would mess some stuff up.
And it's not. It's just when it's going to happen, because it's it's going to happen. And according to experts, we're way past that. Even the polar flip, they said we're like hundreds of years past due.
The Carrington event, that was in like the mid 1800s, so I mean that was almost 200 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they didn't hardly have no electricity back then either, compared to today.
And people knew how to live without it.
Yeah, they're already living without it. Yeah.
Nowadays,
Hello, Monty.
my cell phone won't send me no food.
Oh, that would be the biggest thing, I think. One of them.
Yeah.
Or TikTok. They can't make
How many
videos.
people?
Yeah.
And I watch people cooking on in a fire pit and stuff all the time, and it irritates me that they cook over the flame and stuff. They'll
They
have a
trying to
hot dog
sear it.
and they'll stick it right there in the fire, and it's like you're just burning the outside of it. You're not cooking
I
it.
turned. I forgot to get some cheese today
Hmm.
with my pickle dog.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about if we see people removing items that don't belong to them in the store, we are not allowed to tell them stop or nothing. Um, any of that stuff. If you see them running out the door, you got to step aside and let them go. And but we were talking and saying, well, if I'm off that day and see somebody, it's a different story.
Hmm.
And he says, when I'm not working here, I carry a friend with me, and the majority of the people that work there do the exact same thing. And if anything would ever happen, um, everybody has friends in their cars.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Good.
because it is that type of place. And I'm not saying it's, everybody in there is a Trump supporter or anything like that, but they're, they carry, um, a lot of them have their own property, their, farms and gardens and the whole shebang. There are a few that, like myself, live in the city, but not a city folk kind of person.
Well, it's starting to get to be like the old Wild Wild West days again.
No, no. Guys, watch out. Dana B's kicking again.
Uh-oh.
No.
713 miles.
If I ever do meet Dana B, I'm going to make sure that I walk behind her.
Well,
I
what
can just
was it?
imagine if I'm walking in front, all of a sudden, 700 miles away.
Field goal every time.
At least she got there before she did.
But it is nice to work with people that kind of act the same and feel the same about things that's going on in the world and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha, Monty.
Because I've worked at a lot of places that had younger people that didn't see eye to eye so much. And there are some younger people in there, but like my the manager of my of the outside, we get along good. Like he waited till I got done with my stuff today, my computer stuff, and he said, "Good, you're out here, so I'm going to go ahead and start on making signs, because we got a bunch of flowers and plants and stuff in, so he had to make signs for all of it." And which wasn't too bad, except I had the one 90 bags of mulch, which and the guy actually helped me load his trailer up, which was good. He was a fireman too, so that was nothing for him to toss those bags. And I was just thinking, the first day I started started loading these bags in the back of a truck, I had a 20 load, and it took me forever. And I was like, I'm picking these bags up and just tossing them in the back of there now.
Was it like most stores? They sell a little bit of everything: mulch, soil.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they buying it up right now. Can't
Yeah.
can't
And
load it up fast
yeah.
enough.
And I'm still looking the other direction because I have to walk past a certain section of the store.
Well, here we go.
I have to keep going like this.
He's going to rub it in. Watch.
What
Because
do they
I
sell?
know if I
Alabama
see
stuff?
something on sale, I'm like,
Freedom seeds.
oh, yeah.
There ain't too many stores like that still around that still sell a little bit of everything, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, even like places like Wally World, they're limited on what they got.
Hey, 101. Well, we're actually cheaper on a lot of stuff than we have people coming in, like hanging baskets of flowers, $9.99.
Really?
Yeah. And the first time it opened, or the morning, people are coming in left and right buying up shopping carts full of these things, like $300 full of these hanging baskets and ferns. I don't know what it is about ferns, that because you can go out in the woods and they're all over the place.
Oh yeah, they can't get by them fast enough, man. There's something about them.
Well, it's because they're already potted up. All you got to do is hang them.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like,
I don't know if you got Lowe's in your area. Check with Lowe's. I went there today to get something this afternoon, and the lady told me that they're having some type of deal with the Mother's Day. They're giving, I don't know if it's a free plant or a free flower. I don't know what she said,
oh,
but she said it. Well, you know, but that's different. But anybody out there's near Lowe's, you get you a free Mother's Day flower or plant.
Well, I got 3 close to me. I think we're going to Lowe's tomorrow, buddy.
yeah.
Get all 3 of them up.
And one day I was out about just riding around, wasn't really looking for junk or anything to pick up, but I pulled up on this spot and it was a metal, like an outdoor metal table with the chairs. I grabbed that, and there was 2 metal hanging baskets with the hooks, the chains, and everything on them. They had them out there by the trash. I said, shoot, that was a score.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
yeah,
another
really.
good thing is I can get all that kind of stuff. Because if it goes out in the trash, I'll just say, hey, can I bring my truck back there and pick it up? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They shouldn't give you no sweat on that.
Displays and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind asking people like that, hey, y'all going to throw that away, or is that trash?
Yeah.
Worst thing they could tell me is no. I was going to leave regardless.
Yeah.
I just hoping to bring some with me.
Yeah. As long as it's already been credited or whatever, I forget what they call it.
You right, credit.
Then they'll throw it away.
Yeah.
And I can go pick it up. Like some of the stuff, a lot of stuff that they'll sell on discount because it's damaged, like cattle panels and stuff like that. If it has dents and bends in it or something like that, they'll give you 20% off. And then, of course, I get another 15% off. So that's even better.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
That's 35% off right there.
Mm-hmm.
that somewhere you would have normally shot anyway?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah, you can't beat that then.
Yeah. Last time I got the one I got, pig panel one, was 15% off because it
Look
wasn't
at that.
really that bad.
Dana B giving herself cookies now.
Mm, I'm stuffed. I don't even think I can handle one cookie.
Yeah,
Man,
we have
depends on the cookie.
we have 4 racks for almost most dead plants, and it's 5, 10, 15, and 25% off.
I bought 2, what do they call burn plants. I can't think of them.
Fern Gully.
Fern Gully.
You know, you break them off and put them on burns and stuff like that.
Oh, aloe vera.
Yeah.
Which
Want to see
everybody
something
keeps
cool?
telling me to put aloe vera on, but it's just a sunburn.
Well, you can also eat it.
No, I know. You make good aloe
There you
vera
go.
water out of it.
Yeah. Daisies.
The sunflower.
Sunflowers.
Sunflower.
Yeah, those
These
are
are dwarf sunflowers.
Okay.
See? This
Well,
one right here, look at this one. It's the teddy bear sunflower.
well, if they dwarf flowers, do they come already hulled?
I don't know why this made me think about this, but did you know there's an accessory going around now, and I forget what they call it. Anyways,
That's one of the baskets right there I was telling you about, that metal one.
oh yeah,
Cool.
it is. I can only put it one way. It's titties. They put them on their foreheads. I'm serious. I thought it was a joke, and then I started seeing more videos of people. It's a fashion thing now. They're actually putting titties on their forehead, and they're
Oh,
walking
like
around.
the horns?
Yeah, and I'm like, what the heck?
Wonder what the purpose of that is.
It's I don't know, a fashion thing or something. I'm like, huh?
Man, I hope I don't see somebody with them on there.
I think I know what you're talking about, but it may be something different. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget the name.
Maybe they think they're Angus Young back in the
Something
70s.
another or something.
Yeah.
I forget. Next time I see a video, I'll save it. I won't.
Gotcha.
I don't think I'll be able to play it though, because it's
Probably
Me
not.
and the wife, we went to Smithfield this afternoon and got us some chicken and everything. And walked in there, and he said, "What kind of chicken you want?" I looked at him, and I said, "Huh?" I knew what I was going to say, but couldn't say it. Okay, let's put it like that. He said, "You want dark meat or white meat?" Dixie said, "Jeff." He said, "You want the leg, the thigh, the breast, or what?" I said, "I've always been a thigh man, but the breast comes next." And that man got to laughing. And she said, "You ain't right." It was, thank God she was there with me.
I was going to ask 101 about if he was taking a subway, would he have a flashlight on him?
Man, it's pouring down rain again.
Mm.
Yeah, it was here earlier when we went out.
What does Sam do?
Oh man, when the second day I was working, when I come home, my feet was hurting so bad. I need to get me a new pair of shoes because those shoes are worn out. I might actually start wearing my boots. Oh,
Shit, we got pretty warm today, but it's dropping down quick.
Yeah.
It's already 70 degrees.
yeah. Make sure everybody says a prayer for
Bigfoot.
Josh's
Prayers going out, Josh.
Definitely.
It's 65 now. It's feeling good.
Yeah, it feels great outside right now.
Yeah, the bay temperature here is 79 degrees already. I'm like, dang.
It's 72 right now.
No, I'm talking water temperature. That's warm
Oh.
this time of year.
If that's warm now, I wonder how many hurricanes is going to develop this year.
No, this is the shallow water. That doesn't affect that. That's you get on a 2-foot flat, it can be over 100 degrees of water.
That's right here. That's moving through now. So I haven't heard too much. So, it should be done by 11. But it looks like we got a lot more coming.
Let's see, there's no rain coming to me.
Or headed. Wait, let me see.
Uh-oh.
Man, that sounds so good out there.
Here
Yeah,
comes
you have some headed towards you. I don't know. It looking like it's heading more north, though.
Yeah, it's not predicted
See,
here.
look at there. It gets about halfway. It gets right there to Atlanta, and it just evaporates.
Yeah.
That's how it does this every time, man.
Well, the way I'm looking at it on that map, I'm right in the middle. But I look outside, man, it's pouring down.
Well, with you up north there, yeah, you're getting
Yeah.
now I hear it.
You'll probably be getting it off and on all evening. Dang, it's just evaporating right there.
Hey,
Yeah,
Joe.
did you see that one? It just
Yeah, it just totally went away.
Can you zoom in?
I can't see that one.
yeah, that's the one that's passing through us right now.
What is that noise?
Oh, there he is.
It's raining all over the world.
I'll be back in a second.
Did you get some rain? Oh, he froze already.
Man,
Oh, I think he actually disconnected.
When I saw him in chat, I was going to say, here comes Willem Dafoe, the deer hunter, but I was like, turn your mic on, Jim.
sound amazing.
See, I have to do that. Yeah, nothing coming out. Yeah, you don't even have a mic.
Great stuff. Tell us more.
Tell us.
Really?
Yeah, try disconnect and come back in because you don't even have a mic.
See, having trouble with my audio issues.
Now you ain't lip reading.
I was training myself just then.
Oh boy.
Jim, you're making a silent movie.
Oh God, let it go.
Yeah.
No.
There you go. You got a mic now.
Okay. It's like this happens every now and then.
One thing
All
I
right.
don't like.
You know I've got to ask this. What did you shoot today?
Nothing.
Okay.
Unbeat. It got warm here today in the low 80s. And Bushcraft still has the red nose.
Well, I got a lot more than a red nose.
That would be good around Christmas.
I was surprised that my neck is even get red, and I've got a beard.
Yeah, it got behind the beard like the angle of the sun.
Yeah.
Well, at least it's going to cool off tonight, so it's supposed to get down to 58 to 60.
The worst part is like right here in the arm.
It's funny how that part of your arm got sunburned and the rest isn't too bad.
Well, it's because I'm pushing carts and lifting, and my arms are up all the time.
And you got a lot of metal stuff that's reflecting light onto you too. So
Yeah.
Any bags of concrete today?
Oh, thank God, no.
Yeah,
It's the packaging of it is just so hard to grip a hold of and stuff. You just have to pick it up and kind of manhandle it in there. The manager guy for the outside, he gets up there and he puts two on one hand and tosses them up there.
do they sell concrete blocks there too?
No, I don't think so. I haven't lifted any yet.
Because that's something you need good leather gloves to handle.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see.
Does
If
Jeff
it's
hear
too
the ticking?
Too bad. We'll have to end it.
Does anybody hear a clock sound tonight with me on, or?
I can't tell. All I hear
Okay.
is ringing all the time.
They used to be called cinder blocks, Grace, but they're really just concrete blocks.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I got my disc harrow, the guy said you're gonna have to put disc on the thing above, the blades to weigh it down, and I need to bring gloves to go to Home Depot.
Whenever I was did block laying, never use gloves. It sucks right at first until you start getting that
yeah, calluses and all.
and then you don't feel it because it kind of sucks. Either you use one or you have to put them on, then take them off, put them on, take them off. So
Yeah, you don't normally see bricklayers and people in that field wearing gloves.
Yeah, because you just let your hands get toughened up.
Yeah.
You don't have to put gloves on all the time.
Well, one reason I like gloves, when I'm planting little spruces, they have picky needles. I mean, those things will cut your hands up in no time. And blue spruces.
Oh, we did it. We moved a lot of trees, and I was thinking, I bet you Jim would have this. He might have this tree in his field.
Well, I've been taking transplant out of my transplant bed. Today I've been planting Norway spruces, and they're like, at least 2 foot tall. And they got little balls of dirt attached to them the way I take them out of the ground.
You just planted those today?
Yeah, I've planted them as 500 trees already. I got seedlings delivered this spring, and I haven't gotten to those.
From the ones you planted today, how long would it take for something like that to develop until you would sell it?
Well, it depends on what size the customer wants their tree. Like, you can get a 6 to 8 foot tall tree in about 8 to 12 years. The blue spruces are the slowest growing tree known to man.
Really?
The Douglas fir and the Norway spruce. You can get some of those probably 6 foot tall in 8 years. But like I said, I'm using trees that I got as seedlings 2 years ago and put them in a transplant bed and fed them with a lot of horse manure. And these things have balls of dirt like, this wide. And that's why I need so many buckets. Like sometimes I can only fit 6 of them in a 5-gallon bucket.
Gotcha.
We had the hardest time today finding, and when I first looked at it on the list, I thought it was catnip. And I said, we don't have any herbs out here except for cilantro. Because I won't be there tomorrow. Good. We have another truck coming in, and but I was looking all over, both of us was looking all over for this catnip. And then we looked at it again. It was cat mint.
Cat
It's
mint?
a totally different thing. It's a flower.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
And then I finally found it, and we had put the sign on by the plant.
Well, here out by the road next to one of the telephone poles, there's some kind of mid plant because anytime I mow it, it gives off a pungent odor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it clear your sinuses?
Actually, the dust is getting to me. I've been blowing my nose. It's funny, when I'm outside working, I hardly blow my nose. I come in for dinner and I start blowing my nose, and it's like, there's dust in it, brown.
Do you have the AC on in the house?
No, because it's going to get to 58 or 60 later.
Oh,
It's probably 76 out here right now.
I've got my AC going. Just
Man,
one
it's
in
warmer.
the other room.
Warmer there than it is here.
Yeah, it's starting to cool off in here right now. Actually, last night, 2 nights ago, it got down to the 40s. Last night, it only got down to about maybe 58.
It's too much.
Yeah, I just fed my plants upstairs. Hopefully, it'll be the last time I feed them upstairs.
What do they eat?
Plant food. It's according, because there's this brand of soil and fertilizer that looks like a hippie made it, and I know what this brand of stuff is for.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We had one guy come in and he asked me questions about soil and stuff and fertilizer, and we were sitting there and he said, I have tomatoes I want to grow in the house. And
Oh, yeah.
Might have to end the line.
He's looking for high nitrogen stuff.
By. But anyway, he said, and I was telling him, I said, well, tomato plants need a lot of nitrogen. They use a lot of nitrogen to grow. And I was telling him about the different soil and stuff that has fertilizer in it. And he was talking about that his tomato plants are like 5 feet tall in the house, and he has grow lights and fans and the whole shebang. As soon as he left, we said, we know dang well he's not growing tomatoes in his house.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, like nitrogen, you get too much, you get too high.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it depends on the tomato, too.
Yeah.
Different varieties. And you can tell by the leaves, too. You don't want the bright colored. You want the dark green. That means the leaves and stuff are getting nitrogen in them.
Gentlemen, I'm gonna have to call it for the night.
Making you
Something come up.
busy.
What are you going to call it?
Whatever comes to mind.
All right.
Well, you have a good evening, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
You too.
You get a chance to
And stay out
I
of
will let's try this again. I will talk to y'all later. Have a good one.
Okay, probably tomorrow.
Oh, 101, you still in here?
But it seems
No,
I don't see him in chat.
He said hello once, and then that was about it. Probably because we were talking about him in his flashlight. Oh, look, Jim's moving.
Yeah, I move when I'm typing something in chat.
Well, you were froze for a while.
I don't have the heater on tonight because it's too warm. I'd rather it be cool than hot like this.
Oh yeah, that's why I got my AC on.
73 is my ideal temperature. I'm a 73 man.
That way, if power goes out, I have it'll be cool in here for a little while.
Yeah.
Now next week, I don't know about when I'll be going live because I have to work closing. So I might go live Wednesday because off Wednesday.
Well, next Friday, I got to get something done at the dentist. I got a tooth that he wants me to get a crown put on because if it breaks, it could lose the sidewall and that'd be it for a crown. So it's better to get the crown now than wait for it to break, just to save a little money in the long run.
Yeah. You'll officially be knighted then. You'll have your crown.
Well, fair, when you get to be my age, your teeth, all the wear and tear. Unfortunately, teeth break.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I had a tooth break, and they ended up doing a root canal on it a few years later. And this was at job court because you're supposed to get free dental, medical, and all that stuff while you were there. So they went and did a root canal and drilled a hole in it to take the nerve out of it. And they said, well, we'll be back in 2 weeks and left the nerve exposed for 2 weeks. So everything I ate just went.
It annoys me how specialized dentistry was. The dentist I saw as a kid and teenager, okay, he would do everything, root canals. Okay, now most dentists won't do root canals. You got to go to an endodontist.
Yeah.
And the price of those things have soared.
Yeah.
I remember when a root canal took like six dental visits, and it was like $450 in the 80s or 90s. And around here, if you're going to get a root canal, it's $1,400, $1,800 now.
Wow.
Everything's expensive.
Yeah. Buy braces for a kid.
Well, that's what caused a lot of my dental problems.
You have to.
The braces were on my teeth, and I couldn't brush right.
Well, you actually have to make payments. Well, unless you're rich. I think 2.5 years making payments on one of my kids' braces or something like that.
Well, they designed those braces so it's easier to brush. And how are you supposed to get floss between teeth when you got those braces on? You can't. Because the dentist told my parents, wait till he's an adult. You put braces on his teeth, now he's gonna have a mouthful of cavities when they come off. And who was right? The dentist. But the doctor that did my braces, I'm not kidding you, that guy would probably put braces on that dog if you paid him to. And actually, when there are people that have little dogs that had to have dental work, teeth pulled, and a coworker of my wife's, I forget what kind of dog it was. It was probably like a 10, 12-pound dog. It needed most of its teeth pulled. I don't know how the dog could ever eat then. And they had a bill for $2,500 for all the teeth the dog had to have pulled. Isn't that amazing?
Mm.
It's expensive.
And my vet that retired said now a lot of, because of, vet care is so expensive, a lot of people are getting pet insurance.
Yeah. Like for cats, one of the big things for them, because they'll eat anything, the little hook things that's on pot holders that you hang on.
Yeah.
Cats will get a hold of those and they'll chew the ends of it off because it smells, and they'll chew it, and it gets stuck in their intestines. It's $2,000 to $5,000 to get that, for them to operate, to remove those
Mm.
things, because it binds them up to where they can't, you know, digest their food. And that's the number one thing for cats.
Yeah, my pet doesn't have any money, so I have to pay for everything. And actually, years ago, I remember in the 80s when the heartworm preventative medicine came out, you had to, I forget the name of it. It was a pink pill. You had to give the dog a pill every day. And I've read stuff online. Then the vet I had in the 90s, in early 2000s, that passed away, he said if the dog gets the heartworm preventative every month, it's impossible for them to come down with it. Well, when I had to change vets, they wanted to do heartworm testing. And since my vet retired, okay, what am I going to do with the heartworm medicine? Give it to myself? I never had to have a test. And the new vet made me sign a form because I didn't want to spend the money to get the test. She said, well, if the dog tests positive, if the dog comes down with heartworm, it'll cost $2,500 to treat it. I said, well, if I get the test done and she has it, is it going to be any cheaper? It'll still be $2,500.
It's not $2,500. You know
Yeah.
how do you get rid of heartworm in a dog? Chewing tobacco.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she's had a heartworm every month since we got her.
My
The pills.
grandpa used to take a wad of chewing tobacco out of his mouth, and he'd put it in the dog's, make him eat it. And he pooped tapeworms or whatever, any kind of worm, it gets rid of.
And how come dogs don't need braces like kids? Like every shepherd I've had, their teeth, there's no big spaces between their teeth. There is tartar on the dog, and I don't think she would let me use a Sonicare toothbrush to remove the tartar. And one thing I've been doing, and the woman that cleans my teeth, the dental hygienist, I've been using a lot of baking soda, and she said, your teeth are almost like, there's hardly any plaque or tartar.
Dang. Blood work, then $450 to remove 2 teeth.
If you go to an oral surgeon around here, the price to remove a tooth is about $450.
Yeah, I watched a video where they, where they have the little kids and they tie a string to their tooth and you slam
Yeah.
the door or something. Well, they hooked a thread up to, or a small rope up to the tooth, and hooked it up to this Corvette. It was a gag, so it didn't really happen, but it was funny because they showed a video of the kid losing a tooth that way. So they said, well, the cat has to have his tooth removed, and we're not taking it somewhere to get all this money, so we're going to do it this way. And the cat went and they dragged the cat down the road. Not really, but it was a gag thing, but it was funny.
My dad actually did that to me when I had one tooth that had to be pulled out, and it actually worked.
Oh yeah, it does. I did a football one. What was the other one? A remote control car. That didn't work too well because the car didn't get up enough speed. The door thing. I think that was about it with the kids. But that was the cool thing, you come up with ways, and they'd be freaking out, and then oh, my tooth's out, tooth fairy thing.
Yeah.
I think I got a dime when I lost my first tooth from my parents. Then after the first tooth, the money stopped coming in. I thought I was going to make some money. Mary Freeland's asking, is it a true cedar tree, or around here, everybody calls them cedars, but they're just wild junipers that come up. I don't know if you have them down there, in Georgia? There's wild cedar trees.
Cedar?
Oh yeah, you'll see them from time to time, especially down there near the water.
Because I know they can't take, because it's everybody's definition. Some people call, because you have the cedrus of Atlantis, that's a true cedar.
Yeah, they had a bunch out in out west too, Arizona.
Yeah, and your true cedars don't hold needles like for a Christmas tree. They're just like hemlock. You cut them down, the needles will drop quickly.
Here comes the rain again.
Was that thunder earlier, the sound in the background?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's rumbling high, I don't worry about it too much. But if it's starts hitting the ground, then time to shut the computer down.
Yeah, we haven't. I think the one storm we had in early April is when we had thunder. Now, what annoys me is last summer we'd have all this thunder and lightning, and where's the rain? Just barely a tenth of an inch. Because they were calling for flooding last weekend, flooding downpours, a tenth of an inch. All the local weather people are just typing everything up.
A tenth of an inch.
We had a tenth of an inch last weekend, and Bushcraft was having heavy rain. It just fizzles out. It can't make it this far east. Just like Tasha Hunley was asking, all that bad weather with tornadoes, that was that, and straight line winds, that was western PA near Pittsburgh.
Mm. Yeah, they said we would get some rain today, tomorrow, and Sunday, but looks like most everything's staying north of me.
When was the last time it rained down there?
Shoot, probably almost 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, we
'Cause
got rain
it's
tomorrow and Sunday, I do believe.
It was April 12th since we had that storm. We had about an inch and a quarter. And even after that, the ground dried out in no time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, walking around out here to plant little trees and ground that I rototilled, I'm just covered with dust. Just walking on it is making the dust. I mowed some of the roadways this morning, and I couldn't believe how dirty my pants were. Between the pollen and the dust. Actually, this is the third spring in a row where the ground has gotten too dry to till.
Yeah, I like cedar wood.
Oh, that smells really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you cut down a cedar tree and let the wood dry out, they make jewelry boxes out of that type of wood.
Yeah.
or planters. That's why I get the cedar planks, and the planters last a lot longer.
You did a good job on that one you made that one time.
Yeah, I've got two in the front now. Haven't got the plants for it yet.
I have a question for Grace. How did landscapers mowing catch the grass on fire?
Oh, that's because of the exhaust.
Was the exhaust that did it?
Yeah, it happens all the time. Well, not here, but in Arizona, uh, because you don't water your grass in Arizona, you flood it, and if you don't flood it, it turns yellow, and when your exhaust is spouting out uh, stuff, then it'll spark up every once in a while, and it goes like this all over the place because it spreads really fast. It's like a lint fire type thing. Most time, you just let it go, unless there's other trees or bushes around or something.
Now, the parts of Arizona where a lot of people live, is that ground sandy or clay?
Where they live,
Yeah, like
it
outside of
depends.
Phoenix or Tucson.
In the city, most people don't have lawns. It's lava rock or gravel or something like that because you it's very expensive to have grass. I mean, there's a lot of places that do, but again, they have to basically flood their lawns at night, or by morning that everything's dead.
I wonder how deep you have to go to get a well there.
I don't know. I know somebody in Colorado that lives in the desert, and they're 500. They went over 550 feet.
Yeah, you figure out their water is an issue because my grandfather's sister lived in Tempe, Arizona, and her first name was Temple. And I remember meeting her several times when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, and she was saying where they lived, the ground was real sandy, but she said it was just dry all the time, being a
Well,
desert.
it's not sand though. It's dirt absent of moisture. It's just a lot of dust. The sandy would be like Mojave Desert. It's more sandy, but it's actually like sand and dust mix.
Because I've talked to people, they've told me if they get just a little shower, all of a sudden things will green up temporarily.
What do you want? Come on.
If the dirt was cracked, Grace, it's a heavy clay then.
Say hi.
Like areas out in the Farm Belt, Midwest, because I know people, it's a long story, that have lived in Kansas and Oklahoma. And actually, some areas out there, parts of Oklahoma are sandy and parts of it's a real heavy clay. And you figure with the Dust Bowl that happened in the 1920s, it changed the topography.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hard to believe some of those people lost several inches of topsoil just from the wind.
Yeah, because they cut all the trees down.
Well, the thing is, back then they were plowing up like, huge strips of ground. You can't, if a person would plow 100 acres around here and we'd get remnants of a hurricane, you'd have ditches like you wouldn't believe. You figure back then they didn't practice proper soil conservation methods because they didn't think of it. Putting in diversion terraces across the grade and waterways with the grade out safely out with the water.
They've been farming overseas all the time, and they didn't have these big open plains where
Yeah.
they had, because we're the only ones that have tornadoes. You think tornadoes happen everywhere in the world?
No. because except for one block of trees here, because this whole property is hill, I don't make a block larger than 1.5 acres because I don't want the soil to wash away.
Mm.
In some areas where I live, you can be on broad uphill flats, but most of the ground around here, it's just all hills.
Well, it's just like when you make a raised bed and you fill it with soil and stuff, you still have to keep putting soil in it because it'll dissolve and go and wash away. Because my beds, I keep putting soil in it. I keep building the soil back up, and eventually it washes away. And that's what happens when you have like in ground. Eventually, you'll start. A lot of the soil will degrade and dissolve.
That's why it's good to put organic matter back in it, manure.
Yeah.
Steph Richards here on the full money.
And we have topsoil. two bags for $4, which is really good.
How much is in each bag?
40 pounds.
Because if a person would get soil delivered, because people ask why I don't sell trees dug up. Well, to get a triaxle, which is 22 tons, cubic yards of soil, it's $30 to $35 a cubic yard, and it's got too much junk in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say Monty's been here for a good while.
And actually, where I am, most of my topsoil is anywhere from, I'd say, about 12 inches deep. There's some areas where it's funny, the way that there's one area where the ground's a steep hill, then it flattens out. And right where it flattens out, there's an area that must be 18 inches, 2 feet of topsoil. Then it goes uphill a little to get to the creek. And there's an area where I can't even hardly till the soil, where it's all bedrock near the surface of the ground. And the only thing I can grow in there is white pines. And that's after covering probably like a half an acre with 6 inches of horse manure. Now, I don't grow any apples, Monty.
Yeah.
Well, Mary, I don't know what your vet's like. Like I told my vet about renewing the prescription, they put up a fuss, and I said, look, anybody can find this stuff online. I know it's like they'll charge you $125 to do the test. And some of these vets don't want to do it online. I got a whole year's worth of heartworm preventative for about $100 from Chewy.com. That wasn't bad at all. I remember during the COVID pandemic, there was a shortage of ivermectin, and it was $200 vet bill for a year.
This channel Bushcraft family cannot and does not contain medical/health advice. The medical/health information is provided for general informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional advice. Accordingly, before taking any actions based upon such information, we encourage you to consult with the appropriate professionals. We do not provide any kind of medical/health advice. The use or reliance of any information contained on the site or our mobile application is solely at your own risk.
Please verify you are a human. I'll wait.
I think I'm a human.
You think you're an inhuman or a human?
I'm a human.
Okay.
I mean, I think when you see these vets, except for the last one I had, they're a lot younger than me. And they think, okay, they weren't even practicing medicine when it was a 1-a-day heartworm pill. And actually, I looked online, you can still get that. And it's actually a little cheaper than the heart guard. But the problem is a lot of people will forget to give their dog the pill every day.
Well, it's just like, you know, a regular doctor. Um, they do tests to see if something pops up it's different, then we give you this medication for it, and then see if it fixes it. If it doesn't, we have another medication we'll give you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same way with pets. You know, when you take them to a vet and stuff.
And the stuff I got from Chewy, Mark Sharp and Dome version, was way less expensive than the heart guard. And you know why? They're not advertising on TV. It's been a while. Over the years, I've seen TV commercials for the heart guard. And if there are any of the pharmaceutical companies that have TV commercials, that's why one of the reasons why their product is a little more expensive. Because I think it was the late 70s or early 80s that they even developed that kind of medication. Can I share what I give Holly on the show?
Probably not.
Okay.
Be on the safe side.
Okay. I mean, she's the only one in the house that even takes any medication.
Well, just like the, cats get the ear thingies in their ears, and they say they have to have a special medicine to get rid of it. And that stuff's expensive, and it's a treatment that get them to get rid of it. Coconut oil does the same thing. You put a few drops of coconut oil and squish it around a little bit, and it kills them. The little mites or whatever they're called.
Oh, and the vet wanted to do another type of worm test because the heart guard medication. That's the name brand. The stuff I give her, like I said, is generic. Doesn't kill every kind of a worm that a dog can get, but you can get stuff over the counter at Walmart for the stuff that the heart guard doesn't take care of. Because when you get a dog as a puppy, they're always going to come down with worms. And if anybody has a dog that has worms, the dog's going to have the runs, for one thing, be hungry all the time, and you can actually see it in their bowel movement if they have worms. And you can't blame the vet for trying. They just want to do every test known to man. At least she listened to Holly's horror with the stethoscope.
Yeah, that's why I use is coconut oil. It works good, and it's actually good for. Oops, it's actually good for a cat too. And if the thing is, you know how a little cat will sit there and lick their paw and do this number, it's actually it won't hurt them if they eat it.
And then the vet wanted me to buy the expensive medication to prevent fleas and ticks, and I said I got a flea collar for her. I haven't found one tick on her this spring. Every day the past week I'm finding like two to four on my clothing. And after I get a tick off of me, I put it on the dashboard of the truck and crush it. Use the end of a lighter to push down on the back and splatter it. How you doing, Holly? Tick free on your drink. Oh, that's good.
Boy, tags went up again. I had to get my I did it the last day of the month. And it went up probably about $8. Gets more expensive, and I'm pretty sure the taxes will be going back up again next year. Yeah, activated charcoal is good stuff. It has many, many uses. Yeah, think next year I have to get my driver's license renewed. The last time uh, I had really long hair when I had my picture taken and long beard, longer than it is now. And when I gave it to the lady to copy for going to work, is this you? Yeah.
I bet some of the people in chat take better care of their pets, like I do, than a lot of people in this country even take care of their children. Because it's on the news, people are having a fit that they're not going to be able to buy candy and soda that are on the food stamp program.
Well, they shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Because we give Holly, it's like every 4 days we're cooking chicken for her to supplement the dry food. And she prefers chicken, I think, over ground beef. She does like steak, though, and deer meat.
Well, who doesn't like deer meat?
And I was watching one video the other night on YouTube, and a guy's predicting that we're going to run out of beef in this country. I don't know. You think we're going to run out of beef because?
Oh, there's someone putting.
Well, it depends what you mean
that
by
all the time.
running out of or stopping the growing of.
Yeah.
We figure a lot of beef is imported
Mm-hmm.
from Brazil. You figure all the canned corned beef it comes from Brazil.
A lot, Australia too. That's where they bring it in frozen, still whole quarters and stuff, and then they butcher it here and they say
It's from the U.S.
yeah, they put the label U.S. beef on it and stuff, and it's legal.
And you figure before the Midwest was settled, there were more buffalo and bison in this country, than there were to this day, beef.
Oh yeah.
And nobody was complaining about buffalo and bison farts destroying the environment.
Well, if they did complain about it, they wouldn't be around very long. I mean,
What is Grace?
can you imagine some of the people and sorry for the people who's in California, but that's usually who gets,
They're all vegetarians out there, I guess.
Well, could you imagine those people being put back in the cowboy days, the Western days and stuff?
If they had a gutted deer, I'll tell you, most of these liberals, just like the Walt's running for VP alongside Kamala, I doubt the guy's ever gutted an animal.
He's never loaded an auto loader shotgun either.
They would be sick to their stomach if they had a gutted deer.
I mean, deer is not bad at all. It doesn't have much of a smell or anything like that, unless you're very bad at it.
Well, we had the problem with the neighbor big time. They were all corn-fed. Those stink. You can tell if it's a corn-fed deer as soon as you start pulling the tummy out, the intestines. Got $82 increase for the driver's license renewal. It, 82 dollars increase for the driver's license renewal. 82 dollars increase for the driver's license renewal. Got $82 increase for the driver's license renewal. It, 82 dollars increase for the driver's license renewal. Got $82 increase for the driver's license renewal. Grace, you're not a commercial. You're not getting a commercial truck driver's license, are you? And speaking of driver's license, I didn't know this. I heard on the news last week, local talk radio. If somebody gets their driver's license in Pennsylvania and they're letting, the migrants get them, you're automatically registered to vote. Thanks to Governor Josh Shapiro. What a great man.
Well, I don't disagree with that too much, but unless they just give you a license, because to get a license, you have to verify that you're a resident.
Isn't that they can vote at the state level, but not the federal level?
Well, they say only at the state level. And the thing is, the last time I got my driver's license renewed, most of the people in there that worked in there were speaking Spanish to the people that were getting a license. And I think the way it is in PA, they didn't even have, some of these people come here from foreign countries. I don't think they even had to do a driver's test. I remember as a teenager when I got my license, what screwed a lot of people up was the parallel parking. They couldn't get too close to the curve or else they hit the curve.
Yeah, you're right. The same thing with port too.
Oh.
Well, it's not so much that they cut it up and send it back, but they'll can it and stuff in cans and soups and stuff like that.
Yeah, my wife got spare ribs for me for dinner tonight with the bone, and I said, "How much were they?" $2.49. And I remember before Joe was president, you could get spare ribs on sale for as cheap as 99 cents a pound with the bone.
Well, let me see if anybody else is live because I'm gonna go ahead and end it here.
Was that lightning and thunder?
Lisa is live, so I'm gonna go ahead and drop a link there. And again, I'm not sure. I might go live in the daytime, morning or something next week. We'll have to see. I'm trying to learn best way to go about it. And this week I've had my butt kicked.
You had your sunburn.
No, the sunburn don't bother me. It's just irritating when I, rub stuff against it or something like that. But the wearing out of my legs and feet is the tiring thing.
And my hands are tired from digging out stumps with ground that needs rain. The only thing saving me is the soil doesn't pack too hard here, unless it gets
shoulders and stuff. Because with the doctor's orders saying I can't lift weights or do exercise and this and that. So I went on a carnivore diet and lowered my blood pressure on my own, and they don't like it.
Because you did it your way. You did it my way.
But like I said, we'll have to see. And I'll probably work nights one week, and then it'll flip back around mornings again.
What time do they open? Till 9?
Mornings you have to be there at 6:30.
Like, do they do work at the store after closing hours?
Not unless there's something that needs to be done.
I wish they had one of those in my area.
But thanks for everybody for hanging out tonight. And we'll see you hopefully next week sometime. I don't know. 101 might be live. Let me go ahead and put Lisa's live up here Yogi Hollow Farm. She always has a good live going on. And thanks everybody for hanging out, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Good night.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh yeah. Thank you. You too. Don't copyright